It's a miss in the midday, the day after the Giants go 0-2. Let's talk about it. Forget everything and go into what happened yesterday. The Giants invent ways to lose. It's part of a black hole that the Giants have been stuck in for a very long time. Unfortunately, we add talent each year and we fucking stay the same. I'm gonna get down to the bottom line. Look, I'm not gonna blame the loss on anybody yesterday. But you know what, Dable? You gotta know your kicker's not well and have another kicker, especially with 52 on the roster and you had an open spot. But you know what? I'm not gonna kill you either. There's not much to kill. Next week, the Giants go to Cleveland. If the Giants don't come out of Cleveland with a win, and I don't give a shit if the score is 6-3. If the Giants don't come out of this Cleveland with a win, the season's over. See, I'm going to give it another game. Most people already announced the season done. I get it. It looks bad. They did play a much, much better football game yesterday, and they didn't have a kicker. Bottom line. It's nice to see Jones and Neighbors growing a chemistry. Neighbors has got to catch that ball. It ends the game. But you know what? These are the things that happen to a team when they're losing all the time. Bad things find you. I'm just chalking that up to he's a kid. He manned up at the mic after the game. Something Coach Dable hasn't done this year yet. He manned up and took responsibility that he let his team down. You know what? That's a type of alpha dog that's going to grow from that. I'll criticize him a drop because I have major expectations of him and we needed to win. It's fine. The Giants go to Cleveland next week. If the Giants don't come out of Cleveland with a win, they're 0-3, the season's done, and it's headed to a blacker place than the Giants have ever headed anywhere in their history, I think. And the change right there will be there. Daniel Jones will go to the bench. It doesn't matter because you're going to have a scrub lock. I'd rather have DeVito. I'd rather see what the young kid DeVito can do with this team the rest of this season. He's the only one on the roster out of the three that has a chance to have a future with us. So let me see what this kid DeVito could do. The Giants go to 0-3. They're coming home to play Dallas on Thursday night. Next Sunday, Dallas plays the Ravens, an 0-2 Baltimore team that's desperate. That's a desperate, dangerous, cornered animal. You got to think the Ravens are pulling that game. So Dallas is going to come here off a 2-game losing streak, and they are going to whoop the Giants' fucking ass all over MetLife Stadium. So, again, if the Giants don't win in Cleveland Sunday, they're staring at 0-4, headed across the country to Seattle. At that point, this regime is done. Okay? This regime is finished. And Bill Belichick is coming. You better get with it, all you guys out there. You know why? Because Bill Belichick is the only fucking guy out there. Along with Vrabel. I think he could bring Vrabel with him. And McDaniels. You will have a real deal staff because it's going to take a real dynamic staff. And it's going to take the great Bill Belichick to turn the clock back and structure this team. You heard the word? Structure. Something the Giants haven't had in forever. He's going to put a system in, a structure. They'll go out and get their young quarterback in this next draft. And you know what? Maybe Joe Schoen stays and maybe he's a part of that. Because I like Joe Schoen to look for the quarterback. Belichick will have all the input in the world. It's going to take Bill Belichick to pull the Giants out of this black, dark cave that we've been stuck in. It's darker than ever, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And you're going to need a dynamic monster to put this team together, put a system in, structure, discipline. And I don't mind turning back the clock and playing defense and special teams and winning games 20-16. I really don't mind because I like to go back and win games. Kansas City has no problem doing it. They've been winning those type of games lately. Yesterday was a devastating loss with the games that were staring down the pipe. It's about to get ugly as hell. I don't put it over the Giants to go to Cleveland and pull a win. The Browns, to me, they're a good defense, but they're very, very inconsistent. Let's see what happens. But if the Giants don't come out of Cleveland with a win, and I'm sorry, 24-23 loss won't do it. At this point, it's about a W. A W only. It could be the ugliest W in the world. If you don't come out of Cleveland with a W, the season's fucking done. You're headed for 3 wins at best, maybe less. We were all wrong. I had us 8-9. I would be totally wrong. And Daboll, with the attitude you've been showing and the body language, it seems you've checked out and had enough, and you're finished. And anybody that doesn't think Belichick is on his way in, he would love to finish his career where he started and break that coach-winning record with the New York Giants. And I believe completely he's the guy that would turn the Giants around big time. Don't tell me, oh, he failed with New England the last few years. I don't want to hear that shit. 2-decade run came to an end. It's supposed to come to an end. Don't give me that nonsense. This fucking man has won 6 rings with New England and 2 as a defensive coach with the Giants. Okay? You're talking about a historic GOAT. He's got some years left in the tank. He's got the fire. I'm ready. Give me Belichick and his weird-looking son and try to get Vrabel to come with you. And that's where it's headed unless Daboll turns this around real fast next week. Now, one player out there I want to call out. It's a player I love, and I feel I'm allowed to call him out because he's a guy I was crazy about before we drafted him, and I went nuts the night we did draft him. Kayvon Thibodeaux. Step the fuck up and play like an elite edge. We expect you and Burns to have at least one game-changing play every game. So far, I gotta go to the deli to look for you on a milk carton. Kayvon Thibodeaux, I know what you're capable of. You could be great. It's time for you to step your game up. Turn it up another notch. Dig deep in. And start tricking linemen. Set them up for a big play later in the game, brother. And get better against the run, you and Burns. Okay? Dexter can't do this shit alone. So, Kayvon, forget about the clothing and the sunglasses, and it's time to get back to being a gridiron football player. Miz.